Hello again, this is Smart Money, our daily show on investments and how you can get your money to work for you. Now this is one option. All this week we're going to talk about loans, and today we're talking about raising loans against gold. Traditionally, like we were talking in the break with Roongta, who incidentally is joining us here on Smart Money to tell us about the entire loan space, looking at raising loans against gold. Traditionally, not very acceptable because when you're looking at, putting gold out of the home, typically speaking, that's not looked at very kindly by society, isn't that right?
So more than society, it's an internal cultural taboo, psychological taboo, right? I think the pledging of jewelry for taking a loan is considered as some sort of a last resort thing. Even though financially it makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Very few people actually end up, and everybody has jewelry, even somebody who stays in the slums has jewelry.
Correct.
Typically, even he tends to turn it into a furtive affair. He would go to a small corner shop office which will charge him higher rate. He could as well with a jewelry loan, even 20,000 rupee loan is available at a reasonable price.
Correct.
But even he treats it very furtively.
Correct.
And I think this cultural or psychological taboo is costing a lot of money to the consumers.
That's right. So obviously you're saying this is a good thing. Among the kind of loans that you can raise, because we take so many expensive loans against credit cards, against these personal loans that we take at such high rates of interest. How exactly do you rate the kind of loans that we do raise in recent times, the ones that I'm talking about, loans against gold?
So if you need a general purpose loan, I mean a home loan for buying a home, possibly a car loan to buy a car because that tends to be reasonably priced. But anything else, if you need to, for example, start your business, a gold loan is available, cheap, quick, irrespective of your credit history. You may have had bad credit history, you will still get it.
Right.
So I mean the advantage, and the rate is extremely reasonable. I mean it can be as low as 10% to as high as it can go, but it can be as low as 10% and easily available. So the only thing that's keeping people back from utilizing this space, the middle class people,
Correct.
I should say,
yeah,
is essentially the psychological.
So which is the safest place to go? If I want to raise a loan against the gold that I possess, gold, jewelry, etc., which is the best place to be able to go and get this kind of loan?
So I would divide that into two parts. One is you need it quickly. Okay, you don't have the real time, or literally if you need it in hours, I would go to a specialized gold loan company. You have the Muthuts of this world, the Manapurams of this world,
right,
which are extremely quick. I mean, they've got this down to a fine art. You walk in with your jewelry and you walk out with a check. But otherwise, if you are willing to wait a day or two, possibly, you can go to any bank. Public sector banks have loan against jewelry. Private sector banks has, ICICI, HDFC, everyone has. The cooperative banks have loan against jewelry. It is available everywhere. It just seems to be a best kept secret.
But what kind of risk am I undertaking when I do set aside gold and raise a loan against it?
So as a borrower, really, there is no real risk. Of course, I mean, typically when you keep your give your things for safekeeping to somebody else, the risk that it will get engulfed in a fire, or obviously that's insured by the banker, but the sentimental value can never be replaced. So
yeah,
I think the real risk you run is...
So any of these places which you are suggesting, all of them offer adequate amount of safety?
Obviously they have to, their business runs on that, and they would insure themselves against these perils.
Absolutely.
But I said, they can give you your money's worth back. They can't obviously return your sentiments back to you.
Right. And typically, what kind of people looking at what kind of goals should be looking at raising a loan against gold?
So, I mean, loan against gold is a catch-all term. It's against any jewelry. I mean, that includes diamond jewelry or any precious jewelry. Against gold bars or gold coins, the loans are not available. But against jewelry, it is available. Typically, it can be anything. Today, it tends to be used for small consumption loans. But if you're starting a business, for example, you say you get a great opportunity to buy a showroom.
Right.
Okay. Taking a loan from a bank, making a project report, I mean, you're talking of a 30-45 days affair.
Right.
This is a one-day affair if you have the jewelry, provided you have the jewelry.
Right. And the kind of interest that I'm going to pay on a loan like this, very, very competitive? looking at the various options available to me, say if it's for a home as well that I need to raise a loan for, and lots of people have adequate jewelry, they set it aside as contingency like we discussed, you know, for a rainy day. You never give away the jewelry that you've parked your money in. So would you raise a loan against your jewelry to be able to service your home investment?
To buy a home?
That's right.
Why would I? Because a home loan is available cheaper than a gold loan.
Right. So but you said 10%, etc., which seems
home loan is still cheaper.
Is cheaper, but I'm saying that, yeah, it does. I mean,
so unless there is a speed need, I would not really take a gold loan unless there is a need for speed.
For urgency.
I mean, there is this property that the seller is saying, I'm going to not have it on the market tomorrow, and you absolutely want it. Home loan would still take you 10 days, 15 days. A gold loan is a day.
Absolutely. Well, so these are the ideas that, and I'm sure our investors have lots more questions to ask us on taking loans against gold. If you do, then do send them across to us at our email ID, which is smartmoney@bloombergutv.com. We will be talking about raising loans and how exactly are the best routes for you to be able to do that to service all your goals, both short-term and long-term, this entire week. So keep sending across those questions. Harsh Roongta will be joining us from ApnaPaisa.com to be able to give us advice on all of these. Thanks so much for joining us today, Harsh.
Thank you.